Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Tuesday, the 25th day of the month of November, 2025. It is Tuesday of the 34th and final week of our church year in ordinary time. So it's also Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, 2 more days to Thanksgiving. I believe, what is it? Oh, it's 1 month. It's 1 month until Christmas. So 30 days until Christmas Day. So just in case you're counting and you're trying to get your stuff together and making sure that Christmas is on its way, just little notifications now as we move into Advent season of how many days there are left until Christmas, so that you get ready for it in all appropriate time and things like that. But there still are Halloween lights up over here for some reason. So they are orange. I guess you can do that perhaps because it is still the fall and Thanksgiving is brown and things like that. So I guess we could do that. So anyway, on this Tuesday of the 34th week of the year, we have Daniel continues. And here in this part of the Daniel narrative, Daniel gives an interpretation to a dream that King Nebuchadnezzar has had. And it was about this great statue with a head of gold and shoulders of silver and a belly of bronze, and then legs and thighs of iron, and then feet of iron and tile mixed together. So sometimes it's like feet of, sometimes it's been interpreted as feet of clay, where you get the expression from. And then a stone, which is not made by any human hand, but comes from a mountain, is thrown at the feet that are both tile and iron, and they smash, and that causes the whole thing to come crashing down. And the stone itself becomes a great mountain. And what does Daniel have to say to Nebuchadnezzar about all of this? Well, basically, it's that you are the golden head because you are the King of Kings, the most powerful empire in the world. But then other empires are going to come after you, which are not as powerful, are not as great, and they're going to continue to become lesser and lesser and lesser until you come to this divided kingdom, which will be of the one of tile and of silver, or tile and of iron, and that one will be destroyed by the hand of God. So it's kind of this strange sort of foreshadowing, this premonition, this prophecy that Daniel gives to Nebuchadnezzar, that basically this earthly kingdom will not last and cannot last, and what will happen instead is that, again, God's kingdom, which will then be this stone that grows to a great mountain, will be the one to surpass it all. And a kingdom that will never end, a kingdom that will last forever. And so there is this sense, again, in which Daniel is looking forward to a future, which is more than just an earthly kingdom of Israel, something that, again, has been wiped away, it seems, forever because of the Babylonian conquest of Judah. But here Daniel is now forecasting something more, something that will be that will last forever, that will bring peace and goodness and wonder and beauty to this world that no earthly kingdom or no earthly empire could ever supply or could ever achieve. And so, again, this moving towards a future that rests with God, after everything else has been destroyed and everything else has gone away, God's kingdom, God's word, God's presence remains for all of us. In the gospel today, we hear basically a repeat of the gospel we heard 2 Sundays ago, on the 33rd Sunday of the year, in which people are looking at the temple and all of its costly jewels and everything else like that, and basically say how beautiful it is. And Jesus comes in again to be a downer and says it's not going to last, and then does all the premonitions of the forecasting, basically the end of the world, of nations rising against nation and all kinds of natural calamities and everything, signs in the sky and things like that. But it's to realize that this is the time of God's fulfillment. This is the time in which God is going to create that kingdom that will be that mountain that will reign forever, that will last forever. And so, again, both of these readings pointing to the fact, again, that it is God, again, who sustains us always, and God who allows us to be able to see the more in our lives when everything around us that human beings put together seems to fall apart or seems to come not to the end which was promised, because we human beings can only promise what is finite. We can only promise what doesn't really last. We can only promise what we really don't even know if we can achieve sometimes. But the sense in which God's promises remain, and we need to align ourselves more with God's promises, offers us the hope that we need. An important lesson to remember and to learn as we move towards the end of our church year, that God is the hope that remains always in our lives, is the promise that never dies, is the fulfillment for which we wait. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.